Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the NFL. So y'all check this out. Well, I've been pushed into this one here, y'all. Right? I've been pushed up into this one here. Right? This one is, motivated, you know, by inspired, let's use that word, inspired by the complaining about the tush push in the NFL right now. That's the play when you get close to a first down or close to going into the end zone that you just line up and your offensive linemen do their job and run into the defensive line. The quarterback just follows him through a hole and it gets pushed by his running backs or a tight end or something, and they just push it across the line. And it's the probability of it being successful is pretty high if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts and them. So it's an issue now. It's been considered to be banned. It's been going on for about 2 years or so, a little bit over 2 years, I would say. Right? Now, it's a play that works, and Philadelphia has pretty much mastered it, right? My problem I'm having with that, right, is that last year we had a close MVP race, right? Two quarterbacks, one of them had a historical season, which we'll get to. But Josh Allen, I don't remember the stats, but I can remember one of the things that he had over Lamar Jackson was rushing TDs, right? Which we all of a sudden cared about, right? Rushing TDs. From those rushing TDs, I think it was, let's just put a number out there. It was about 14 rushing TDs, and about 8 of them were tush pushes, or 9. It was real high. It was a lot of tush pushes. And my issue is we weren't complaining about the tush push to figure out a way to give my man Josh Allen the MVP over Lamar Jackson, right? Now, any other year, I'm not going to say any other year, but that was just a year that I didn't agree with the MVP voting. Lamar Jackson was like the obvious MVP even last year, even though Josh Allen had a good year and his team had a couple more wins than Lamar Jackson, but that's it. That's it. He had a couple more wins, and his division was easier than Lamar Jackson's, right? And they played head-to-head. Lamar Jackson won. Getting to Lamar Jackson, that season, before we get into the other stuff, that season, the guy had 40 over 40 touchdown TDs that he threw with 4 interceptions, what gave him the fourth highest passer rating in the history of the game, right? And his team won and went to the playoffs, winning 12 games, right? Now, just that alone is MVP. But he rushed for 900 yards on top of it, guys. You're giving that guy the MVP in any season unless somebody did something ridiculous. And what Josh Allen did was just good. It wasn't ridiculous. It wasn't no reason to give something a historical season away. The highest passer rating, 900 yards on top of it, 40 touchdowns, over 40 touchdowns, 3 of which, the interceptions that he threw with only 4 interceptions, 3 of those interceptions touched the receiver's hands, right? The other one, the receiver just stopped in the middle of the damn route he was supposed to run. You understand? Which means he threw basically no interceptions that were his fault. And 900 yards rushing on top of it. And winning. That's, the 4th highest passer rating ever. So, let me just say this to y'all. Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback ever. I'm just going out just straight up, and I've been, listen, this ain't just some young dude, right? He's the best quarterback ever. My favorite is Joe Montana. That's my favorite. That's when I start arguing about sports. The sports argument was Joe Montana versus Dan Marino. That's my first sports arguments. Then I had also the Hakeem Olajuwon versus Patrick Ewing argument all the time. So I was winning some arguments. But let me tell you something. The people that was arguing for Dan Marino had some good arguments. Now, Dan Marino's arm was it, you know what I'm saying? But I had the titles and stuff like that popping off. But Dan Marino, and I had the mobility for Joe Montana too, popping off. Because Dan Marino couldn't run, right? But other than that, that arm was so we was arguing now. Right? But in my story, I feel like I'm winning them. But this is my story. The other dude gonna feel like he winning them too. He won them too. So it is what it is. But I'm just saying, that's my favorite quarterback. Joe Montana. Right? Got a couple of other ones, but Joe Montana is pretty much my GOAT, right? Now, I'm saying your boy Lamar Jackson, the best quarterback ever. I'm gonna go out on a limb like that. I know that we're gonna there's gonna be some stuff going. People gonna say, well, he ain't got the titles. Tom Brady got the most titles. Do the eye test. Is Tom Brady better than Lamar Jackson? Just the eye test? Really? Right? Really? Let me say why I could say Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback ever right now. He's played 7 seasons, correct? He is the best rushing quarterback ever. Rushing. We're going to put rushing in front of that. He has more rushing yards than any other quarterback now, right now, as we speak. All-time leader in rushing for quarterback position, right now. That's what he got already, right? Now, somebody that has that shouldn't be nowhere near the best in passing in the league if we want to just make him a top upper echelon quarterback. Because he's the best rusher. We know that. He's electrifying. We know that. He's one of the fastest quarterbacks ever. We know all of that. But a quarterback that has all those attributes better not be nowhere near nothing when it comes to passing. That's just not the case. And this is what bothers me right now. That's why the tush push inspired me to just say, okay, that's it. Just this week, he has the highest passer rating in the history of the game as we speak right now for his career. It's 102 something, right? That's, come on. All these passing quarterbacks, that's Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, just straight up passing. Your boy Tom Brady, all that stuff. No, he's got the best passer. And remember, he has to be resilient because when he came in the league, he wasn't even supposed to be a quarterback, right? Now, his winning percentage is over 70% too. So he's winning most of the games. So all we have to say, because if you watch new Russian media, all you're going to hear all day is that he's not won a Super Bowl yet. Well, a lot of people ain't won no Super Bowls. And his people that won playoff games and Super Bowls who've played worse than him in playoff games, but their team brought them through. Because some other guys on the field too, by the way, in this sport. This ain't tennis, right? So there's other people that might do something. We just watched the game in the playoffs against the Bills where people just drop balls all day. We forgot Derrick Henry dropped one very important ball going to get in the first down, and Andrews dropped 2 very important balls in that game. Just dropped them straight up. Right? So we see that. But after that, hopefully people forget and we can say, hey, Lamar can't win the big game. There's others. I'm telling you now, your boy Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls. And hey, listen, try to hate on the dude if you want to. But 7 Super Bowls is not a coincidence. Especially if you got a good concept over there in New England, but you went over there in Tampa Bay and turned them into a winner. Damn it, back off. I feel that. I understand that and totally, right? But he didn't have great stats and great games every time that team won. Now, I didn't do the homework to look at it again, but I just know there's games where he threw multiple interceptions and stuff like that in games, but they still ended up winning because his defense helped him out and other players. So that's what, so we're hoping that happens with Lamar Jackson, that maybe he plays bad in a playoff game, but the team can still win. That just hasn't happened to him. His team in those first 7 seasons of his career has less takeaways than most teams ever. There was a stat to that. I just don't know it for sure, so I'm not going to say the exact stats. But I'm saying his team has less takeaways than any teams ever. We're talking ever here. So he's been going through battling that. So I'm just saying, reason why I'm just going to say it, he's the best quarterback ever, is because, damn it, he's the best running quarterback already, and he has the best passer rating of all time right now, which should be a big story all over. He's Shohei Ohtanian, the damn NFL, right now. Passer rating, that guy who can run like that with the best passer rating of all time should be the biggest story of the week. Should be the biggest story of the week. Right after they finish talking about Shohei Ohtani just hit home run number 51 after pitching 5 no-hit innings. That's the kind of stuff this is, right? Talk about it, but they won't. So that's why I'm talking about it. Now I know he's not they'll have the most, Super Bowls, so he's going to have to win some of those to be considered the greatest. But I'm just saying, the greatest quarterback from what a quarterback can do is this guy right here. We're watching him right here. He's going to have to win some Super Bowls for people to really start putting him into the greatest of all time conversations and stuff like that. You're going to have to get some hardware. That's just the way that works in sports. But when you just talk about pure athleticism, somebody passing the best passer rating in the history of the game right now, at least it can go down. You know, it can have about 3 bad games in a row, and that's over, right? But as of right now, the best passer rating in the history of the game, and he's the best rushing quarterback in the history of the game as we speak. Somebody better say something about that other than me. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got right here. And his team wins most of the time. They just don't win the Super Bowl. But it's a whole lot of teams out there. There are a whole lot of people going home ain't won the Super Bowl. Only one can win that, right? So he's doing a whole lot of stuff. Y'all better recognize, I got more to say on this, but I'm going to just cut it down. Lamar Jackson, best quarterback of all time. I didn't say the most decorated. I just said the best quarterback of all time. And there ain't too many arguments on that. Y'all better come with something. Doma Sports Talk worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.